Hi, I'm Rick with Bestop, and today I'm going to show you how to install a Supertop for your 2018 and up JL Wrangler Unlimited. The kit comes with all of the parts you're going to need to complete the installation. I know it looks a little overwhelming, but we're going to walk through each step, making sure you know which parts, which fasteners, what tools you need to complete the install. Comes with an installation instruction that includes a list of the tools that you'll need to complete the installation. Sockets and a socket wrench, Allen wrench, and screwdriver. All the soft goods are included, some of it pre-installed to make it a little easier for you. We have door rails, combination of brackets for attaching the bows and the tailgate bar, all the hardware to put these pieces together, additional door rails for the front doors, tailgate bar, and the bows required to operate your Sunrider. In addition to pictures in the installation instruction, some of the parts will include labels with part numbers to help you with the install. To assemble the rear door rails, get your left and rights together. It's going to have 2 clips, 2 screws that are used to attach the pieces that are shipped knocked down in the box. Install the clip so the threads are facing to the top of the door rail. Use a 4mm Allen to secure them together. Next, we'll assemble the 4-bow bracket to the rear of the door rail. There's 3 holes with a little bit of a jog. Make sure that everything aligns and the flat is on the top side, and then use a 4mm Allen to secure the screw. Three places. Install the decorative panels using a T8 Torx. These are thread forming screws. One nice thing about the decorative panels, if you want, you could repaint those to match your vehicle to add a little extra flair. Add some pizzazz. Take care when installing these screws to make sure they don't get stripped out. Don't forget to repeat those steps on the other side. After pre-assembly, we're going to put the door rails onto the sport bars. Starting from the rear here, there's a couple of clamps that are going to go around the sport bar. And there's a little pin here at the bottom that goes right into a locator on the belt rail. The collars on the upper clamp snap into place. Fasteners secure in place using a T40 Torx. After the rear, we're going to install the front. There's a foam seal on the rear that goes underneath at the front of the rear here, and then at the front, it'll tuck into a seal right at the windshield. To install the number 6 bow support bracket, first we're going to remove the trim pieces that are on the rear of the Jeep. Do that on both sides. We're going to use a T40 Torx to secure the screws that go into the 2 holes. The 2 pins go into the sport bar with a pin above the upper hole and the pivot towards the ground. Installing the rear tailgate retainer clips is real easy. Look for the locator pin that goes into the hole on the belt line and secure it using a T45 Torx. Repeat that on both sides. To install the number 5 bow, double check, make sure you got the right bow. It'll be the one with tabs on both sides of the mounting bracket. We're going to attach that on the vehicle at the rear of the door surrounds. Make sure you get yourself a step stool if you're on a Jeep with 40-inch tires. We install that with a 13mm wrench or socket and a 5mm Allen. There is no front and back on this one. We're going to install the number 4 bow next. That bow has no tabs on the bracket, and it's also going to attach to the rear door rail. We attach that with a 4mm Allen. We're going to install the pivot bracket to the number 2 bow. Take some time, get familiar with the brackets. You're going to see there's two. One has a narrow tab, one has a little bit larger tab. We're going to use the larger tab for the assembly. To complete the assembly, use the hardware. It goes screw, washer, bracket, bushing, pivot arm, bushing, washer, nut. Put the screw in from the outside towards the end. Tighten all these down with 3mm Allen and an 8mm wrench or socket. Make sure the smaller diameter of that bushing goes inside the pivot arm. When you install it, the nut is on the inside, which is aligned with the crosscar bow. And then we're going to repeat that step on the other side. We're going to install the 3 bow and the 2 bow on the vehicle. We're going to put the 2 bow on first, and the 3 bow is going to attach on top of it to the door rail. Take a second and kind of line up the holes and install using a 4mm Allen. We're going to attach the side bow pivot to the side bow on the fabric assembly. It's going to attach using the same parts in the same way, with the screw from the outside and the 2 bushings on the pivot. It'll be a little easier for you if you start that washer and nut on the inboard side before you get this screw all the way in. Make sure you repeat that step on the other side. We've moved the fabric up and changed the layout a little. The fabric is folded back over the 1 bow with the side bow coming out. We're going to attach the side link to the side bow here. The way you make sure you have the correct one is there's a little notch that's going to go over that screw, and the tab comes up from below and attaches to the link. We're going to use the same hardware that we've used for the other pivot assemblies. Bushings go around the pivot link, and the nut is on the inside. Once you've completed that step, we're going to go ahead and repeat that on the other side. We've moved back on the table here to show you this step. We've put the fabric facing up, and this is the back of the fabric assembly. We're going to attach the number 6 bow to the fabric flap so that it'll secure the deck when we mount it to the vehicle. The best way to do that is find the round hole in the plastic strip. It's going to go to the center hole that's on the rear bow here. The screw is a Phillips number 8 screw. It goes from the fabric side through the retainer to the number 6 bow. A great tip is going to be starting the screw through the fabric before you try to start it on the bow. Nine screws total. So we're going to install the grommets into the inboard hole on the number 6 bow. Make sure you repeat that step on the other side. We're going to attach the side tension cable. There's one on each side. You're going to attach it with the binding post and the Loctite that's included in the kit. Find the side tension cable, which is going to come through a hole in the back and then attach to a bracket on the number 6 bow with the binding post. Put a tiny little Loctite on there. And then screw that down. Use a flathead screwdriver to tighten that up. Now we're ready to put the fabric assembly onto the vehicle. Get yourself a friend for this, you really need help. Lay the fabric on the hood. So this is the topping side down, and we've arranged it so that we can put the one bow right on top of the windshield. You might want to put something underneath over the top of your hood to protect it, just to make sure that it stays nice. Lift the 2 bow out of the way and then align the holes in the bracket on the side bow to the door surround and attach using a 4mm Allen. And don't forget, repeat that on the other side. Now we're going to install the 2 bow to the side link here using the same screw washer, bushing, washer nut combination. Repeat that step on the other side. We're going to install the 6-bow support. There's 2 bows that look just like this. They are the same. You can install them on both either left or right side of the vehicle, but you want to make sure there's a little bit of a offset to them, that offset goes from the top here to the inside. Repeat that step on both sides and make sure that they're the same. Have your friend help you move the fabric assembly from the hood all the way over the top, resting the rear bow at the back of the vehicle. After you get the fabric up on the side of the vehicle, open the sunroof to loosen up some of that tension on the rear while you finish the back. Our next step is installing the bow flap to the 5-bow here. So the flap will have 2 holes pre-drilled. I've started those screws, and they're going to go into the 5-bow from the front of the vehicle towards the rear. And repeat that step on the other side. Now we're back here at the rear of the vehicle. We're going to attach the bow support to the rear bow. We'll attach these using a T30 Torx, 1 on each side. Repeat that step on the other side. After we attach the bow support to the rear bow, we're going to attach the rear bow to the main attachment bracket. We'll repeat that on both sides. Last step on the 6-bow is to attach the flap to the holes in the bracket. You'll notice the same small pre-drilled holes show you where to put the screw. Works easier if you start that and then go into the bracket. For this step, I've got inside the vehicle, I've partially closed the roof. What we're going to do now is secure the bow flaps to all of the cross-car bows using the hook and loop flaps. Start at the center, and work your way to the outside. Repeat that several times. To secure the latch, pull the one bow all the way down, move the latch forward and press to engage the hook, and lift up on the handle. Repeat that on the other side. After you have the deck installed, we're going to put the quarter windows on. To do that, there are retainers on all the sides. Start with the one at top and slide it onto the retainer sewn into the deck. The retainer at the front slides into a channel in the door rail. Rotate that in place and push in. The bottom retainer goes into a slot on the belt line of the vehicle. Go ahead and start just a few inches before you move towards the back. To finish the rear, there's a metal pin at the top that goes into the grommet and a strap at the bottom that'll snap to the tailgate retainer. Now we'll finish the retainer at the bottom. After the quarter windows, we're going to install the rear window. Same retainer attachment at the top. Align them and slide it on over. To install the tailgate bar that secures the bottom of the window to the belt line, make sure that you have the seal facing down, and then the long channel slides onto the retainer at the bottom of the window. Secure the tailgate bar to the clips, aligning all the features and pressing in on both sides. The side of the rear window attaches with the long retainer tucked into the slot on the quarter window. Start at one end and work your way to the other. Repeat that on both sides. The last step after getting all your windows in is just pulling the fabric down on the side and the back, securing any hook and loop, and then you're ready to go. Thanks for joining me today on the installation of this Supertop for the 2018 and up JL Wrangler Unlimited. Take care, and we'll see you out on the trail.